differential fluid, which is in the front, the front differential fluid. We did the back already. And in order to do this, we have to have it on ramps. These are some of the tools that we'll need. We'll need a torque wrench, which I showed a second ago. We'll need a 10 millimeter hex bit. We need to torque it down to 25 foot-pounds. It's a 3/8 inch ratchet. Plus, we'll need the oil. This is the gear oil 75 W90. Um, Now, Mercedes says you should use 75 W80, but 75/90 works also. This is the pump we'll be using to pump the oil into the differential up in the front. I've used this for the back already, and the cap or the lid on this fits nicely on the container. So as I go underneath, this is the engine oil pan. I'm just showing you for reference. That's the drain bolt for the engine oil. And right behind that, that's the front differential fill bolt. And down here is the drain bolt. I'm just going to clean it with some brake clean so that it just looks clean and there's no dust around it. And then we will start to open it up and do the spilling and filling. So I'm just wiping it down after cleaning it, and you can easily see the bolt. It's aluminum, and again, it's a 10 millimeter hex key you'll need to use. And I did end up using breaker bar because it was pretty tight. And I just used this rod. It's a hanger rod that came from Closet Made. It's hollow on the inside. Had some leftover piece, and basically I just used this to put the wrench inside it and unscrew it. So I unscrewed both the fill bolt on top and the drain bolt, and now I'm just going to let it drain, and hopefully I'll put it in high-speed mode so that it drains a lot quicker, and you'll see the stuff come out. The stuff that comes out is actually very dark compared to the oil that's going in. The oil that's going in is very light versus this one is near black, but it's more like brick color or dark brown, and quite a bit of a difference. It's the same thing that I saw in the rear differential as well, where the fluid is quite dark. So here what I'm doing is I'm putting the fluid pump into the container for the oil, and I have two of these to put into the differential. And this fluid pump comes with a stick, a pipe that goes in, and it's not going to reach all the way to the bottom, so therefore I am going to end up moving over to another one. So here I'm going underneath my truck, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it out first. I'm just going to spray some. I'm going to waste some, so that as a way of flushing out any existing oil that's in there. So I'm just going to spray some and watch it come out. And hope to flush any other oil that's in there. So as you can see, when I pump it in, it's very clear. It's like wine color or green or light green color that's going in, and then now it's going to drip out. So, I thought that if there's anything that's left over, it would just push it out. So that's pretty much what I did. I'm going to use a brake cleaner to clean these bolts. Keep in mind you have to remove the gasket, right? Otherwise the brake clean will ruin the gaskets. So I'm just going to remove both the gaskets and then clean it. Again, this is the torque wrench that we'll be using to tighten the bolts. These are set to 25 foot-pounds of torque. Just make sure that when you're done using it that you untorque it and release the tension. Don't store it all tensed up. So right now we're going to set this to 25 foot-pounds, and then we're going to tighten the bottom bolt first and do the fill. And right now I'm at 25, and this is me tightening the torque on the wrench. And again, obviously we'll need my 10 millimeter hex key socket, and we're going to take the drain bolt and screw that on underneath the car. First, obviously, hand tighten it. Bit of a tricky, I guess maybe the way I was lying down, I had to somehow do some kind of underhanded to tighten it. But once that's done, it's pretty easy. And then you just take your torque wrench and tighten it to 25 foot-pounds in the bottom. And once we're done with that, we're going to continue filling the differential with the fluid until it starts spilling from the fill hole. Once it starts spilling from the fill hole, then we just tighten up the fill plug, and then we we torque it down. So here I am filling up the differential with the Mobil 1 synthetic oil and just pump away until it starts spilling. And let's see if it starts spilling or not. I did end up using another container. As I said, this one doesn't completely empty out. So I just took over what's left over from here, put it inside the other container, and then I pumped it from there. I had little over, I believe I put in over 1 quart of these things. And here's me, I'm just transferring it over from one to the other, and I'm done with it. And now I am tightening up the fill bolt again with an extension and the 10-wheeler hex key. And as I tighten it, you just want to hear the click at 25 foot-pounds. And once you hear that, then you're done. That's about it. It's as easy as that. Just wipe clean any leftover oil, and obviously dispose of oil responsibly. Dispose of spent oil responsibly. Again, I'm just cleaning. Please subscribe. Please like.